Hello, my name is Jason Carter, and today I will be reading you the book A Three-Hat Day by Laura Geringer and illustrated by Arnold Lobel. This book was published in 1985 by Harper and Row. I chose this book because since I was a child, I have always loved and collected hats. Today, I have a collection of over 50 unique hats from around the world. People wear hats for many reasons. Some hats protect you against weather conditions like sun or rain. Other hats may be worn for ceremonial reasons, such as graduating school, or for religious reasons. Some hats are worn for safety, but many hats are worn just because they look neat. And now, a three-hat day. Laura Geringer dedicates this book for Tony. R. Pottle III loved hats. He loved fur hats and firemen's helmets and felt hats with feathers tucked in the bands. He loved top hats and tiny hats. He loved silk hats and straw hats and sailor hats. He loved berets and bonnets and bathing caps and bowlers. R. Pottle was the last of a long line of Pottles. Father collected canes. Mother liked umbrellas. Together, they took long walks in the rain. After a happy life together, Mother and Father died. R. lived by himself in the Pottle mansion. He was rather lonely. He dreamed of meeting his future wife in the rain. And he dreamed she would be wearing the perfect hat. Every morning when R. woke, the first thing he did, before he polished his glasses, before he combed his mustache, and even his few strands of hair, even before he yawned, was choose a hat. Sometimes, when he was feeling sad, he chose two and wore them, one on top of the other. One bright, clear morning, R. felt so sad that he wore three hats. Marching down the street, he passed two snakes out for a sunny stroll beneath a ginkgo tree. R. noticed a cloud hovering just above his head. He passed two bluebirds doing a fancy waltz in midair. R. trudged on. The cloud grew bigger and darker. He passed two frogs in a pond singing a tender duet. R. recognized the tune. It was Estrellita Be Mine, the love song. R.'s shoulders drooped. He heard thunder in the distance. There was only one thing left to do on such a glum day. With a sigh of relief, he glided through the revolving doors of the largest hat store in town. What hats! There were fezzes and face veils, tiaras and tam o' shanters. There were sombreros and skull caps, pillboxes and panamas. There were beanies with propellers. There were derbies with green glitter that glowed in the dark, and much more. R. began to zigzag in and out among the hats. His spirits rose. He tried on the fez and twirled his mustache. He tried on the derby and struck a devil-may-care pose. He tried on the sombrero and did a little jig. The pom-poms hit his nose. "What are you doing? A sharp voice rang out. RR was doing a pirouette. An angry saleswoman pointed at him, scowling. Stop that, she said. RR blinked and shook his head. He thought he hadn't heard right. It was clear she didn't like him. But why? RR took off the sombrero, slipped it back on the shelf, and backed away. Tears came to his eyes. He turned to leave. Just then, a round figure rushed out from behind a curtain. She wore a dress that hung like an apple sack, a lopsided apron, and squeaky shoes. When she saw RR, she smiled. It was the sweetest smile he had ever seen. And above the smile was a hat, a perfect hat. On one side, a sequined seal balanced a shining ball on the tip of its nose. On the other, tiny gold bells jangled, and a plume as soft and gray as fog graced the peak. Oh, Isabel, the cross one said, that little man is messing up our hats. Look, he's wearing three, one on top of the other. Little man, thought RR, squaring his shoulders. But Isabel was still smiling broadly at him. Why, Ida, she said, we don't sell sailor hats. She stepped up to RR and gently took off his sailor hat. And Ida, she said, we don't sell firemen's helmets. And gently she took off his helmet. And Ida, dear, we don't sell bathing caps either. And gently, gently, she took off RR's bathing cap. It's clear, said Isabel, balancing on her toes, that this man is no messer-upper of hats. It's very clear, said she, balancing RR's three hats in her arms, that this man is a lover of hats. And she beamed. RR took off his glasses and polished them with his handkerchief. He cleared his throat. Shall we go for a walk? He asked softly. It's raining, I believe, and he held out his hand. Yes, said Isabel, taking it. They passed a pond where two frogs sat doing a duet. Isabel recognized the tune. It was, Love, is that you? RR and Isabel hummed along as they danced down the road. And so Isabel and R.R. Potter III lived ever after in the Pottle Mansion, where R.R. Pottle IV was born. R.R. Pottle IV did not like hats. She did not like umbrellas, and canes left her cold. R.R. Pottle IV loved shoes. And that was A Three-Hat Day. I hope you enjoyed listening to this book as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.